Hello YouTube. I got a hopefully quick video today. I'm going to replace the front shocks on the Firebird. I already got it jacked up. So I replaced the springs a couple years ago on this thing. I've got correct springs on. It's a 67 convertible, so a little slightly heavier than a full roof car. It's got a 455 in it, but in theory Pontiac blocks all start out the same, and then it's all about bore and stroke. So the block shouldn't be some kind of huge difference on this thing for weight. It's got cocktail shakers on it. It's got iron heads. The springs have kind of settled over time, and they kind of look almost like they've sagged a little bit. But my shocks are kind of old. I've got some Bilstein shocks in there. They've been in there for probably 15 years. I'll bet. I don't know. So I'll drive down the road, and what'll happen is it drives nice. Car feels really good. Hitting bumps feels okay. Hit a dip in the road, especially with other passengers besides just me, and the front end just, it nosedives, and the wheel ends up hitting inside the wheel housing there, inside the fender liner, and making a heck of a lot of noise. It's kind of embarrassing. So I went out and I got some QA1 shocks. I'll show you a picture of those. I actually live like 20 miles away from a National Parts Depot warehouse, so just on a whim, was able to pop down there. It's like 20 miles away. Go get me some new QA1 single adjustable shocks, and we'll take a look at those, and I'm gonna slap them on the car and go for a ride. All right, here we have QA1 shock, single adjustable. Here's the knob right here. It comes with all the hardware you should need. Hopefully this install goes pretty easy. I've got some tubular control arms on the car. I'll show you those when I take the wheel off. There's just the CPP house brand ones that are supposed to replicate factory control arms. I'm hoping this goes easy. All right, here we go. We got the tubular control arms, got the Bilstein shock in there. Pretty standard stuff. This is should be pretty simple, I hope. Here it is from the bottom. I sure hope this goes easy. I'm gonna try to take the top nut off first, and then I'll take the bottom bolts out. Here we go. Got the old one out. There's the Bilstein versus the QA1. This is significantly bigger than that. I'm hoping this is even going to fit up through the hole without grinding out the hole and make it a little bit bigger. You can see these ears are a lot thicker as well. This old one, part number was 24-029728. I got these used. They're pretty old. You can see they're rusty. No wonder that they're not doing their job so much anymore. Of course, it wouldn't be working on an old car without hitting a snag. It doesn't fit. So I'm gonna have to grind away the hole a little bit to be able to get this to slide through. It's supposed to be a drop-in fit. Well, it's not. So I'm gonna have to grind it away just a little bit, be able to get it to fit in here. So here we go. Okay, as you can see, I had to cut out a significant amount of metal to be able to get that shock up through here. And then I had to cut out a keyway for the adjustable. And then here's the other issue. The holes are smaller than the new bolts that it came with, but I'm so close to the edge of the holes that if I drilled the holes out to the next size up, I'd be breaking through, and I'm already worried about strength, even though this is pretty strong steel, to cut these holes down and make them even smaller or bigger and make the surrounding steel even smaller. So I think I'm gonna have to use the old bolts and either get some new nuts, or the old ones had J nuts. So here's the new bolt that it came with. There's the old bolt, just slightly smaller. And then here's my old J nuts. When you're looking in here, I'm not seeing much of a way to mount the bolt or a nut in the top of here and hold it to tighten it. I'm thinking J nuts are probably the way to go, so I think I'm probably gonna try that. All right, so I went to the hardware store. I bought some U nuts and some J nuts. U nuts are significantly stronger than J nuts, so I'm gonna try to use the U nuts. Hopefully I can get them to fit in there. I also did a little bit of spray paint on everything that I had to grind and cut, so I don't have any exposed steel to get rusty down there. I'm gonna go ahead and try to install this thing. Let's try to see how this goes. All right, one more thing before I install this is I'm turning the knob. So the idea for me is I need a firm ride my handling was just fine, but I need a firmer ride. It says 6 to 12 clicks. I'm gonna start with 10. I'm really worried that it's gonna be difficult to push or to turn the knob once this is installed. I might have to use a pair of needle nose pliers. It has a slot in it for a flat screwdriver. We'll see. Okay, I got it in. It was a real pain in the butt getting the U-nuts to fit. Actually, I couldn't fit the U-nuts. I had to end up using J-nuts. I got it together. I'm not overly thrilled with how it went together at the bottom, but I can actually reach in with my fingers and turn the knob, so that'll be cool. I'm gonna go ahead and put the wheel on, knock out the other side. We'll see how this rides. All right, the passenger side went quite a bit easier because I knew how big to make the hole. Knew what I needed for parts, so passenger side went way easier. Got it back together. It only took like an hour on the passenger side. So I'm gonna go for a test drive now. I got these set. I had said I was gonna set them to 10. I decided I'm just gonna go all the way to 12 because that's the high range of where it said the firm. So I'm gonna go for a ride, see how it does. Come along with me. Okay, I'm on kind of a bumpy stretch of road. It definitely rides firmer and stiffer than it did before, so I hope going to 12 didn't overdo it. I haven't hit any dips yet. I got a stretch of road where there's quite a few dips, so we're gonna head there and try that. All right, here comes the dip. Let's go see what happens. Nothing. Another dip. Nothing. Dip. Perfect. Dip. Nothing. All right, this is solved. All right, here's a dip. We're gonna hit it going 60, see what happens. Nothing. Okay, this is solved for sure. Okay, this is solved. QA1 shock solved the problem. The Bilsteins were either just worn out or not heavy duty enough. QA1 totally solved. Well worth the money, kind of expensive. Heck, now I'm inclined to get a set for the rear, replace the Bilsteins that I have in the rear. This went, it was a little more difficult than I expected. I thought these were just gonna drop right in and I was gonna be done in an hour and a half or something. I didn't realize I was gonna have to cut big holes and paint and figure out how I was gonna get the fasteners, and I had to spin some snap rings around. It was a little bit more difficult than I expected, but I'm certainly glad that I did it, because it's kind of embarrassing to have a couple people in the car with you, and every time you hit a dip in the road, it goes because the wheel's smashing up into the wheel well. So anyway, as always, thanks for watching. If you like the content, please like, comment, and subscribe. I hope this video helps somebody that decides that they want to put some QA1 shocks on their first-gen Firebird Camaro. Thanks a lot. Have a great weekend. Bye.